Hello and welcome to this introduction to micro-internships with Parker Dewey. My name is Kristen Schrader and I oversee the partnerships that Parker Dewey has with both universities and nonprofit organizations. And I'm really excited to share a little bit about what micro-internships are if you're a student or a recent graduate and interested in these opportunities. So without any further ado, let me just define what micro-internships are, and then we'll go into how you can utilize the platform and get started. So micro-internships are short-term paid professional projects designed for students and recent grads or anyone who is interested in launching their career. So as you can see from the slide, most of the projects are going to range between 10 and 40 hours. However, some can be a bit longer. Some might even be a bit shorter, but that is where the vast majority of them fall. They are all paid and paid fairly, and that is a primary vetting criteria that we're looking at when approving opportunities to be allowed on the Parker Dewey platform. And they're all professional projects. And so you'll see a little bit more about this when we look at the platform in a little bit more detail in a moment, but you'll see up front the rate of pay, how long the project is expected to take, the scope of work, and so on, so that you can then decide whether or not that project interests you and if you want to go ahead and apply. And the last piece is important as well, in that these are across all different industries, all different areas of an organization, and even before the COVID-19 pandemic, they were pretty much all remote. There are exceptions to that, so it's always important to look to see if the project is listed as on-site so that you can determine if you're even able to get to that physical location. However, again, the majority of them are going to be remote opportunities, and they take place year-round. We don't really see a whole lot of seasonality. Projects are posted pretty much every single day, 365 days of the year. And so if you look at the platform today, chances are a few days from now, the platform will be completely different. The other thing to know is that these projects tend to get filled very, very quickly. So in terms of eligibility, you have to be at least 18 years of age. You could be an undergraduate student at a community college, a four-year institution, a graduate student, could be a US-based college or university. And if you are an international student, you are also welcome to pursue these opportunities. But because they are all paid, you do have to have the appropriate work authorization. So do be sure to check in with your International Student Services office just to confirm your eligibility for these opportunities. And if you are a recent graduate, and recent is in the eye of the beholder, so if you're still in that stage of launching your career, you are definitely still welcome to consider these opportunities. Check the platform out, see if these projects would be of interest to you, and certainly apply if they would be helpful in allowing you to launch your career. When you're signing up for the platform, you do not need to use a .edu email address. It's a free and open platform for students across all different universities and colleges nationwide. Use whatever email address you'd like to set up, and creating your account is very straightforward and very succinct, very simple. It doesn't take much time. As you can see, pretty straightforward series of questions, probably similar to the platforms that you already are familiar with if you're starting your job search or if you're using your school's job board for full-time jobs and internships. There is one section I do want to draw your special attention to, which is the affiliation section. You'll find it under the About section of your platform, because this is where you can identify different nonprofit organizations that you may be a part of, such as the United Negro College Fund, Generation, Dell Scholars, etc. These are organizations that we are partnered with and that are also sharing these opportunities with their students and in some cases with their corporate partners. And by identifying your affiliation with these organizations, that may help open additional micro-internship opportunities to you, assuming that you are part of these organizations. A couple of other examples that may also apply is if you are a student athlete or you're an honor student, there are also affiliation categories that you can add to the section as well. And you can add as many of these categories as appropriate, assuming that you are a part of these organizations or have these appropriate affiliations. Similarly, you go ahead and add in a bit about your experiences, your educational experiences, your resume. You can upload samples of your work, essentially complete a very succinct version of your profile. The experiences, for instance, that's going to include all of your work experiences, extracurriculars, volunteer work, athletics, and so on. Education. Where are you attending school? Even if you haven't completed your degree, do list whatever academic institution you're attending and the program that you are pursuing. Upload your resume and again, samples of your work if you so choose. And then you'll be able to see the different opportunities that are currently available. Scan through the list, and if there's a project that sounds interesting to you, you can click details to read a little bit more about it. And then from there, if that project sounds interesting to you and you're available and that the compensation sounds appealing to you and so on, then you can complete the application questions in order to apply for that particular project. Now that's very important. Just simply having a profile on Parker Dewey is not going to get you in front of any companies whatsoever. You have to apply to a micro internship in order for a company who posted that project in order for them to see you. So do keep that in mind. The other thing to know is that application question or questions are very, very important. That is how the company decides whether they want to select Melissa versus Catherine. Melissa put a little bit more detail and thoughtful responses. She customized her answers to each individual question. She had some experience that was relevant to that particular project, and that stood her at a far greater chance of being selected compared to Catherine, who had very succinct answers, but they were ones that were not necessarily specific to that project, who said that in her response about her accounting experience, well, I don't have any accounting experience, but I have experience working with money. Well, everybody has experience working with money. You want to be a little bit more detailed and explicit about the types of experiences that you have, and also carefully edit what you say. In Catherine's last response, there was a typo, she doesn't always have appropriate punctuation and so on. And these are things that are going to really look down upon her and affecting her candidacy in a negative light. Now, if you are selected, what happens? How do you know? Well, you'll be contacted by Parker Dewey, and we will share with you both the name of the company, the micro internship that you've been selected for, and then the point of contact at that organization that you'll be working with. We'll also send you some various best practices, some resources to help you with some of our most common projects, and information about how you can get started with our accounting system and payroll, terms of use, all those legal documents that you typically have to sign off on when you are starting a new job. But we are also here behind the scenes, but certainly here to help as needed if you need any extra support. So as you'll have a point of contact within the Parker Dewey Client Success team, reach out to us if you have any sort of hiccups with your project, if you're having trouble meeting a deadline, if you have some sort of personal situation that comes up, let us know. Work with the supervisor as well, but certainly loop us in so that we can provide some support as needed as well. Other information important to know about our relationship in the micro internship process is that although you'll be working with a company and an organization to work on the project, all of the payroll is handled by Parker Dewey. And so whether you're selected for one project on the micro internship platform or 100 projects, for all cases, you will be paid by Parker Dewey. We'll set you up with the accounting system and send you all the information that you need to know. And then once the project is completed, you will be paid by Parker Dewey. So to get started, you can just simply create an account. Again, that is completely free, and you can either do so via the link provided by your school or by clicking on the Apply for Micro Internships link on the main parkerdewey.com website. From there, complete your profile as completely as possible, paying careful attention to both the affiliations and the education sections of your profile, as those are the ways to help you see the maximum number of opportunities that you may be eligible for at any given time. Something else to know is the successful micro interns are logging into the platform every day or two. Check it out, see what's new, and apply right away to all projects that interest you. Don't sit and wait because, again, micro internships, they get filled very, very quickly, sometimes within a few days, sometimes even faster than that. And so with that, if you have any questions, you are welcome to reach out to Parker Dewey at schools@parkerdewey.com. And we wish you all the best with these opportunities and all of the professional development that lies ahead for you. Take care.